Hello everyone, this is AI here, and in today's tutorial I will teach you how to create this four-pointed star geometric line art figure in Affinity Vector Studio, formerly known as Affinity Designer. This figure is made of the lines connecting the equidistant points along the horizontal and vertical center axis of the composition. Alright, so to get started we go to File New and we create a new composition. We're going to give it 2000 by 2000 pixels in dimensions. For this kind of artwork, I like to work on a square canvas. And then we click on Create Document. So make sure we are in the Vector Studio. And then we go to View, Guides. And we add the horizontal and vertical center guides to the composition. And then we're going to set up the grid. So we go to View, Grid and Axis. We check on Show Grid to make it visible. And then to set it up, we go to the Advanced tab. We leave the grid type as standard to have square divisions. And here we check on Uniform so that the X and the Y axis are of the same value. And here I will set the spacing to 50 pixels. So what it is important is that the guides and the grid in the center overlaps. And then we can close the grid manager. We have set up our grid. And then we're going to start drawing the figure. So we take the pen tool. We set the fill to none. We leave the stroke as black. And we are going to set the stroke width to 1 point. And then we set a first node along the horizontal axis, here at the fourth grid division. And then we connect it to the first grid division along the vertical axis. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then we connect the second grid division here to the second grid division here. And we press on Escape to unselect. And then we're going to repeat the process, connecting all the equidistant points along the grid. And make sure to always press on Escape after each connected line. Alright, so now we have connected all the equidistant points on the top left corner. And then we connect the point here that lies one grid division above the last line to the center point of the composition. And we press on Escape to unselect. And then we take the Move tool and we select everything, all the lines. And we press on Ctrl G to group them together. So now we are going to duplicate and rotate the lines to have the rest of the figure. We go here to Move Tool Settings. We check on Enable Transform Origin. We set the rotation center in the middle of the composition. We press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Duplicate. We set the number of copies to 3 and the rotation angle to 90 degrees. And we click on OK. So this gives us the rest of the figure. And lastly, if we want to have it as white lines on a dark background, we select everything and we press on Ctrl G to group them together. And we set the stroke color to white. We take the rectangle tool We draw a rectangle all over the composition. We set it underneath. And we set its fill color to dark blue. And lastly, we can hide the grid, so we go to View, Grid and Axis, and we uncheck Show Grid in order to get a feel of the end result of the figure. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial. You learned how to create a 4-point and star geometric line art figure in Affinity Vector Studio. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!